And hello, universe. Sorry, preemptively knocked over my bottle of hot sauce. I will be getting to that. Welcome to updates from a Dark Lord who has 5 o'clock shadow like Harrison Ford. I have not shaved in a couple of hours. I have not shaved since yesterday. Yes, this is what this looks like after about a day. This is part of why I wore a beard for so many years. My name is Jeff Mack. I am an author, an entrepreneur, and an event promoter, as you would probably guess if I were smart enough to put the banner on the bottom. I'm coming to talk to you today for a couple of minutes about Evil Expo. In point of fact, I am here to celebrate Evil Expo just about reaching its vendor cap. Our technical vendor cutoff date is the 15th of this month, which is August. If you're watching this in some month that is not August 2020, first off, you're probably lucky, in that it means you're probably not stuck in 2020. And secondly, I suppose this is less relevant to you as we will have increased awesome things as time goes by. But wanted to tell you a little bit about what's been happening, and also, of course, in honor of our latest returning vendors, Apocalypse Hot Sauce, I'm going to drink a shot of hot sauce on air in just a couple of minutes. First, for those who don't know what Evil Expo is, Evil Expo, the Villain Punk World's Fair, is the greatest place in the world to be a villain in the world of today, or approximately today, assuming you're not watching this today, where we wander around calling each other monsters all the time in kind of a mean and unhappy way. Why not go to a place where we can call each other monsters in a good way? It is not specifically a horror convention. It is a convention dedicated to all manner of fictional villainy. So Dracula would fit in, as would Sauron, as would pretty much any fictional villain you can think of. Goldfinger comes to mind. Frankenfurter, depending upon your point of view. Apparently, Frankenfurter has recently been ruled to be the wrong kind of villain again, which I find disturbing and strange, but I don't want to just read to you from the website, and it's been a while since I've gone live, so I'm not going to spend too much time. But Dire Dinner, a new game by Big Bad Games from the Big Bad Overlord, who was one of our guests last year, will be coming. There will be a virtual session of Dire Dinner, a cooperative game where players are randomly selected minions conscripted to prepare a feast for Evil Duke Girth the Odious. It's going to be quite a lot of fun. We've got some really lovely gaming coming up. Apparently, Girth is a creature of enormous hunger and requires many minions, so I hope you will all participate. And by all, I mean not everyone actually attending the event, because I don't feel like 1,000 people can probably play this particular game all at once. We have the return of the amazing Amy, who offers advanced feats of yoga, flexibility, and does what she calls a sensational senior stretch. At 65, she is considerably more flexible than I was when I was originally studying Taekwondo when I was 18. And I will be telling you a little more about Evil Expo, but first I did want to get to the promised shot of hot sauce. I will, however, pause to say that for those of you who are wondering, yes, V is for Villains will be returning, because villains never die. V is for Villains returns to Evil Expo to entertain and terrorize your senses. This group of traveling mercenary villains, led by the one and only Mr. Agitator, always strives to entertain. You never know what tracks will be pulled from the top hat, or what group of villains you will see at any given show. Strap in, stand up, and get ready to dance, and or, run in terror as you personally prefer. How's everyone else doing? How are you doing out there in human land? Things here in monstrous villain land are pretty nice. My new book is coming out shortly. That will be I Hate Your Prophecy, the sequel to my first book, my first novel, I guess this is my fourth book, um, Diary of a Dark Lord. You should read it. It's about what happens when an entire world goes mad. I'm sure it is entirely hypothetical. Uh, you can find me on Amazon. Just visit Amazon and look for Jeff Max, spelled weirdly, Mach. But now, I'm going to tell you a little more about Evil Expo, but first, we've been surprised and happy to see how many vendors have signed up very quickly. And if you are a vendor or know someone who is, you should tell them to come and vend because we are nearly done with vending. That is, vending's almost closed. We've hit our cap, or we're about to hit our cap. Speaking of hitting one's cap, people ask me, Jeff, how do you have so much energy? And I say, I am fueled by boundless creativity and large amounts of hot sauce. And this is the latter part. So, yes, to reiterate, it is actually very difficult to fill a shot glass. So I'm going to fill as much of it as I can while we're speaking. This is Apocalypse Hot Sauce, one of our vendors, with their amazing habanero hot sauce, pineapple apocalypse. It's going to be lovely. I'm going to get as much of this as I can in a reasonable amount of time. We have the one and only Victoria Price, who is an author, an educator, a self-help speaker, a motivator, and the daughter of the one and only Vincent Price. And you will love her both for her own amazing work and, yes, for those of you who love Vincent Price, one of the greatest, I was going to say one of the greatest villainous actors, but I suppose one of the greatest actors of villainy of our time. You should meet her. She has some amazing reminiscences about him, as well as, again, being incredible in her own right. We also offer Demonosophy and Beyond. You may not be familiar with Greg Bryant, but he is a formal paranormal investigator, a certified Reiki master and demonologist, a teacher of the arts and sorcerer with over 14 years experience in various forms of magic under his belt. Come and see more. You can find all these people at evilexpo.com. You can apply to vend or apply to perform or speak at evilexpo.com. I'll mention a few more people. Manda Monster, the makeup artist, who will be bringing a small seminar informational session on how to do cosplay makeup for beginners. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be interesting. She went to Fairleigh Dickinson University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in theater and liberal arts. She's always loved acting, but she's also loved another element of stage and film, makeup. Now, I myself do not wear makeup as my facial hair grows out in sort of spikes, which are highly resistant to anything you attempt to place upon my face. Including masks. I need to wear masks that are essentially pierce-proof when I go out. But I'm just going to pause. I'll give you a couple more villains, but first, let's take that shot, shall we? A toast to all the villains in the audience. May you have a drink of fine, whatever it is you prefer, whether that be alcohol or milk or anything, but probably not hot sauce unless you're me, because I am strange. And also, I am incredibly hard to kill. I'm going to demonstrate that now. My face is on fire. Pow! That's a lot of hot sauce. Woof! All right then. Those of you who were excited to see Miss Penelope Proper, the T-Trix, who were hoping to see her at Guilt and Fanfare, which, of course, ended up going online due to the ongoing pandemic. Well, Miss Penelope Proper, the T-Trix of New York, returns to Evil Expo. The provocative hostess of decadent tea parties will be back to give us a decadent tea party, and her spectacular skills at speaking and hosting, and by the way, karaoke. And I should actually speak to her and find out what she's going to be doing. There's a little teardrop in my eye that I would like to wipe the teardrop away from my eye, but having experience with having hot sauce on your hands will, in fact, keep the hot sauce on my fingers away from the mucous membranes of my retinal support. So if I'm crying a little bit, these are tears of villainous joy and also of, damn, that's some good hot sauce. And yes, as I said, Apocalypse Hot Sauce will be there. Podling's Place, who made this amazing villainous cloak. She's not responsible for my otherwise um, fairly plebeian taste in clothing, but she made this amazing cloak, and she can make a villainous cloak for you. You should check her out. You can find out information on Podling's Place at, you'll never guess this, the Evil Expo website, evilexpo.com. Don't miss. Oh my goodness. uh, the thing about being able to take pain is that you can take the pain, you can be invigorated by certain kinds of pain, not in a, not necessarily in a sensuous sense, but simply in a um, some kinds of pain makes you stronger sense, and it can still interfere with your throat if it comes in the form of hot sauce. Do not miss the Villains, not to be confused with V is for Villains. The Villins, New York's most dangerous band. If you guys don't know about them, Jessica and Jesus are Villains, the most dangerous band in New York City. Villains are the first ever musical act with real superpowers to combine original catchy pop music with rock opera style comic book storytelling, and they shoot real lasers on stage. Featuring Jessica and guitarist Kareem Jesus Devlin, Kareem was given the name Jesus by Lady Gaga as the lead guitarist on her Monster Ball tour. Villains are a mysterious musical powerhouse, and there is almost no, probably no truth to the rumors that they're going to get into a cage match with V is for Villains, although I would pay a lot of extra money to see that. And I'm not going to go through everyone, but of course, there's Scoops and Mischief. And if you like your evil clowns, again, we're not a horror event, but we do welcome some horror guests, and we welcome Scoops and Mischief, who are both capable of terrorizing full-grown adults and being absolutely beloved by little children. There are some adorable pictures of Mischief painting some tiny little ones with clown makeup. Consensually. I mean, the parents asked her to do this. She didn't just randomly walk up and start painting children. Don't do that to anyone, including me. Please do not randomly paint me with clown makeup. Please just ask first. Again, it will bounce right off the beard particles. And there are so many other people. That's not a full list. Oh, I should probably mention, for those of you who like steampunk, Victor Sierra, France's premier steampunk band. International headliners are coming in from France. Yes. Or excuse me, coming in from France. Victor Sierra, France's #1 steampunk band. They're going to be there as well, because there's a little bit of villainy in just about everyone. Folks, if you got any questions about the event, feel free to leave them in the comments section. If you've got comments, you should also leave them in the comments section. Feel free to tweet at me at Dark Lord Journal, message me on Facebook through the Evil Expo page, or, shout out at me in some form or other. I will probably hear about it through one of my demonic minions. Everyone, have a wonderful day and or night, and remember, stay evil. Obligatory evil laugh. Soon the world will be mine. I'm kidding. I do not want to own the world. That would be a lot of stress. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.